So I got to make a lifestyle video for BYLT Basics, and this is how I did it. Obviously, let's watch it first, so crank up that volume, make it full screen, and enjoy.
What's up guys, I'm David Moore, and this is how I'm built. Climbing is my main drive right now. It's all I'm thinking about throughout the day. It's something I can push myself with in new ways every time I get on the wall. The best part of the day for me is when I get to train. BYLT's my go-to for climbing and workouts. It's really the best for any situation. And I like to look good while I send. You know, you look good, you feel good. For me, I'm not trying to be the best in the world today. I'm just trying to be better than I was yesterday.
Oh yeah.
So that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. So I basically just reached out to BYLT and pitched a few concepts to them. One of them being this lifestyle piece following a rock climber in his training. And I always try to pitch extreme sports or adventurous kind of content just because that's what I want to shoot and that's the kind of filmmaker I want to be. And you don't want to pitch something you don't want to film. Pitch what you want to become and you'll become it. So it's kind of that simple. So after a little banter in the emails and a Google Meets meeting, we landed on the 1 minute rock climber piece where we follow his lifestyle and training. So they sent about $700 worth of workout clothes for this climber. And that's cool because I typically can't pay my actors or athletes or people who help in my videos just because the budget's not there. And so I was able to pay this athlete in this video with the clothes that he got to keep from it, and he ended up really liking them. So I'm glad he got something out of it. So for the pre-production of this video, I went into Evernote, which is where I organize all my video ideas, shot lists, concepts, things like that. And I made a loose script for the athlete to say, just because I wanted it to be, you know, quick and concise and like somewhat cinematic. And then I had like a pretty loose shot list where I just kind of organized by location and what shots I wanted in each location. I kept it fairly open and loose. The other thing I had to do was secure the gym to let us shoot there. So that's just our local gym and the gym he actually climbs and trains at. That's where I met him because I climbed there as well. And I just shot him an email and asked if we could come film in the morning before they opened. They opened at 10, so we pretty much filmed from 7 to 10 every day. So the first scenes of the video were the bouldering area and the locker room. So we showed up right at 7 and I got all my equipment ready, got the outfits picked out, and the first thing we did was film in the boulder area because there's some garage doors and a lot of windows. So the sun was coming in perfectly and we were super blessed with really sunny mornings all 4 days that we shot. So that was really cool. And we filmed those as quickly as possible before the sun got too high and the angle of it shining in didn't really shine on the wall anymore. Because something I really wanted while he was bouldering was kind of this like really cinematic, soft sunrise directional lighting that would backlight him, so when he chalked up or hit a hold, you could really see that chalk explosion, like dust or whatever. So this was kind of nice because I didn't have to set up any lights, so we just kept it super clean and simple, natural lighting, and I just made sure to work those angles and make sure you know, the composition was on point to make it look good. So once the sun got too high to shoot in the bouldering area, we went over to the locker room and I just did a really basic lighting setup. So I ended up turning off all the lights, and I did the one big soft umbrella as a key. Up above the lockers behind him, I just threw up I think they're the Quasar Science tubes, those LED tube lights. Ran a extension cable off to the side and out of frame, held it up with some gaff tape, and I believe that was it for lighting. So super simple. It was basically just a key and a backlight, but the backlight kind of seemed like it was naturally there, even though I put it there. It ended up looking really cool. The only thing I would have added to this was some haze. Unfortunately, I didn't bring my hazer, and last time I shot at this gym, I set off all the fire alarms, and it was kind of a big deal. But I did use a Pro Mist filter on my camera, on my lens, just to kind of give those lights some bloom effect and kind of soften them up or whatever. So the second scenes of the video were the sunset shots in the downtown area and the interview we grabbed real quick right after that. We basically just went downtown, again, just natural lighting, no bounce boards, no reflectors, just kind of using that sunset. And the first stop was the rail yard or the railroad tracks. I was kind of going for that like boxer kind of cliche training video where they run, you know, in this kind of like rundown town, like in Boston or something like that, right? And they just run next to these like rail cars or whatever. It just looks really cool. It's lots of texture. You know, it's old, vintage looking, and I kept up with them on my one wheel, and it was awesome. One wheels are a great tool for filmmaking, especially when you're running solo like this. You know, you can hop on your one wheel. You don't have to have someone drive a car while you hang out the back or whatever, which I used to do that. It used to be the way I did it. But now I can just hop on a one wheel, I can stay with runners and cyclists, and the best part was I didn't have to use my gimbal, which I was shooting on the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro with an 18 to 35mm lens, and so basically I just was able to do handheld on the one wheel, and there's no image stabilization in that camera, and it still came out smooth. So another reason the one wheel came in handy. And then I knew I wanted a shot where he's doing like bleacher intervals at some kind of like stadium or soccer field or like baseball field or whatever. And so we found this one soccer field that was really old looking and kind of like grungy, which is just, again, good texture for video. I didn't want it too clean. And so there's actually a security guard in the entrance. All right, so we're at this like bleacher soccer field area, and there's like security like blocking the entrance, but he's gone right now. So we're just gonna go in and see what happens and just film until we're asked to leave, and then just be like, what? I don't know. I didn't know, man. Yeah. And so we just did a couple laps, and then, you know, we came back and he just happened to be gone. We didn't know where he was. So we snuck in real fast, and there's a soccer team awkwardly practicing there while we're filming this video, but it ended up being a perfect location. And I just want to say it took some serious skill and athleticism to do bleachers as fast as he did with a gimbal and a cinema camera on it, stepping precisely on the bleachers, and I wasn't looking. So yeah, I got lucky probably, and I'm glad I'm in somewhat decent shape because I was drenched in sweat. It was not a cool evening. It was very much a summer evening out there, and so yeah, I was worn out after that. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do to get the shot, right? So after we were done filming downtown, we just went back to my apartment complex and grabbed the interview. And the whole interview piece is literally just to show one clip at the very beginning of him saying a quick line or a couple words, and then I don't show him the rest of the video just because it's not necessary. The rest of the video is just simply a voiceover, and the interview clip is just to show, hey, this guy is the guy who's speaking, this is what he looks like, and he's the narrator basically. I just did one angle off to the side. I did a natural window light as the key light, and then I did a big soft umbrella kind of straight at him to wrap that light around his face, and then everywhere else was really dark, and I shot it in 6K, punched in on the 4K timeline, and was able to get kind of like this really close-up cinematic looking interview shot. So that was basically it for the interview, and I shot it with the shotgun mic hooked up to my H6 recorder for audio, and I used that audio for the rest, like the whole voiceover as well. So the third scene location was the weight room and the training room, and this was basically his like training shots, and I knew I wanted to do some kind of like cinematic lighting where it's dark, but it's bright enough to where you can see the product, the clothes, and the logos and stuff like that. So the first thing I did was a big umbrella, soft key light, just to wash the front of his body with light and really light him up and give him a good eye light and stuff like that. And then I had the Quasar LED tubes on the sides, just kind of gaff taped them to some cheap tripods, light tripods. And then on the back wall, we did an aperture MCs. We did 2 of them. I was not super fond of it, but we were kind of pressed on time. I basically just did some gaff tape, looped it, and then like taped these to the wall. They fell off a few times while filming, but ended up working out all right, and it gave it good like backlighting. So in the weight room, I tried to stick to like a lot of plyo movements. That was a request from BYLT, was to stay away from a lot of like traditional weightlifting kinds of shots and stuff like that, which worked perfectly for a rock climber considering they don't typically lift a lot anyway. And so we focused a lot on like plyometric kind of gymnast movements to stay away from like that gym bro kind of vibe. And in the training area, those were climbing specific workouts, and the lighting there was pretty much the same. I had a window light, a natural light coming in from a window off to the side, so I kind of used that to my advantage. Kind of put up my key light from the same place the window was coming from, just to kind of give him that extra boost to see the product and logos on his clothes. And then I think I threw maybe a quasar tube up somewhere opposite of him, just to kind of give him, you know, some rim lighting on his hair and his you know, body as he was doing the movements. Yeah, that was kind of just thrown together on that one, but ended up looking pretty good. And to make it more interesting, I kind of threw in this cheesy flip with the wooden stick, the peg workout board. It was just to make it more dynamic and make it look kind of cool. You would never do that in real life, obviously, but you know, I'm always looking for a cool way to spice up my videos. So for the fourth day of filming, it was just a pickup day. We basically had all the shots we needed, but I always schedule a pickup day for myself in any kind of production, no matter how big or small it is, because it just kind of takes the pressure off the first initial shooting days. You know, you don't feel like you have to get every single little shot on the shot list. You kind of, you know, you have that pickup day coming up to where if there's anything you really missed and you like have to have it in the edit, you can do that on the pickup day. But luckily for this shoot, I had plenty of footage. I got back to the editor and I almost had so much gold, I just had to chop all of it. Like, it was sad to see a lot of the shots go, and I definitely overshot for this, which is my tendency, is to overshoot for everything, which sometimes I wish I was more precise. That's why pre-production is so important. But for this one, I'm really glad I overshot and I had a ton of extra footage and options. So it took about a week and a half from concept to delivery, pretty quick. And after I, you know, pitched the concept and landed the gig, we filmed for about 4 days and about 2 days of editing. And then I delivered it that evening after I finished the edit. That's how I would like all my videos to go, is like super smooth and quick like that, where it's, you know, pitch, concepting, pre-production, production, edit, deliver, just knock it out all in order very quickly. It was really smooth. I'm really stoked that I finally had a project go that smoothly, because let's be honest, in reality, that's not how productions go like 95% of the time. So yeah, that's basically it on how that video became a thing, and how I did it and went about it, and kind of the process that I went through. If I didn't cover anything, feel free to leave a comment down below and ask your questions, and I'll try to include that in future videos about you know, productions and videos I do. And thanks for watching, guys. It means a lot. If you really liked it and you got something out of this video, consider subscribing for me. It really helps me, and give it a thumbs up too. That just kind of pushes it up through the algorithm, which is, as you know, a huge help. Check out my other videos. I have a couple other productions I did behind the scenes on, and I try to get these out as fast as I can. So if you subscribe, you'll be notified if I come out with more. And you know, check my Instagram. That's where I post all my content, whatever I'm doing currently, whatever I'm working on. And as I primarily do a lot of ads for social media, that's where all my stuff lives. So go give me a follow on there, check that out. And thanks again for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.